What is up, you guys? Welcome into One Piece chapter 1114 spoilers. So, it's been a long 2 weeks, but we finally got some more spoilers that just dropped earlier today, and we learned some pretty big information. We learned about Joy Boy. More specifically, that he was the first person to ever set sail to the open seas. He was the first pirate, and he also had stretching abilities, just like Sun God Nika from Elbaf. So this is pretty big for a lot of different reasons, but primarily because Sun God Nika and Joy Boy were synonymous with each other, right? A lot of people thought that they were actually the same person. I was kind of on that boat. I was a little bit torn. I didn't really know where to go with it, but we do get confirmation here that Joy Boy and Sun God Nika are indeed two different people. At least that's what we can assume based on the way the spoilers are worded. As we get more details about the chapter and as we get translations of the actual chapter, things could change here or there, but from the way the spoilers sound, Joy Boy and Nika are straight up just not the same person. So this now brings back a really fun question, and that is, what race is Joy Boy? Was he a human? Was he a giant? Because anything's possible now. Now that we know that there was a Nika from Elbaf and that he was, most likely a giant, that could explain why Emu has a giant straw hat. But just as much as that could be Nika's straw hat, that could also just be Joy Boy's straw hat. While we did get some new information in this chapter, nothing has been, drawn in the sand definitely yet. Everything is still up in the air. There's still a lot of different possibilities here, but I do think it is just big in general, learning that Joy Boy and Nika are not the same person. So a couple of things do arise with this though, right? So Joy Boy was the very first pirate in the recorded world based on Vegapunk's knowledge, and it does make me wonder, why did he set sail, right? Like 900 years ago, what makes a guy want to go out to the open seas and become a pirate? Was there a treasure he heard about? Did he want to go exploring and he just became a pirate? Because, boiling it down, like, what is a pirate in One Piece? In the real world, a pirate is somebody who ransacks ships. They go to towns and pillage the entire village. That's kind of what a pirate is. But in One Piece, it's very different, right? Luffy is a pirate, but he doesn't do none of that. He doesn't destroy villages. He doesn't partake in the slave trade like Blackbeard. None of that. No. Luffy is a guy who just wants to have an adventure. So I like to imagine Joy Boy might have been the same way. Maybe he's just an adventurer. Maybe he wanted to explore. And because of his antics, people just labeled him as a pirate. Right now, when I think of what Joy Boy's character could be like, I'm imagining a character like Odin, right? A character that just wants to go out there and see the world, have adventures, have fun, see all the different islands because he's cooped up here in the ancient kingdom, which is apparently super advanced. Maybe that's what it is. He's a guy who's surrounded by a lot of technology and he's like, hey, I'm done playing with my computer. I'm done playing with all this tech. I want to see what Alabasta is like, what Fishman Island is like, right? So just sets sail and he goes on that adventure. It's very reminiscent of a gamer leaving his room for the first time, or at least that's kind of what I envision. One thing I'm wondering about now is, how did Joy Boy get his powers to stretch in the first place? Were there devil fruits 900 years ago? Or were these natural abilities? Was he able to, pray to the sun god and then he got these sun god abilities? We have no idea. The introduction of Nika being an actual deity or another character entirely is pretty big. And something this clears up for me, at least, is why did Nika, in Who's imagination, have a spear and a sword, right? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, okay, wait. The ancient kingdom is supposed to be super advanced, right? They're living in the future. Why does Sun God Nika have a spear and a sword? Like, I'm not saying it's primitive, but if you live in the future, I was expecting like a lightsaber, maybe like a laser gun, just something really goofy. But no, he has a spear and a sword, and it could be explained because Sun God Nika existed probably well before Joy Boy existed. He wasn't there when technology was around. So it's all coming together now. And I do wonder if by seeing Joy Boy's appearance and seeing the way he fights, I wonder if we'll get some insight as to what Sun God Nika's weapons might have been like, or at least a hint to that. I feel like there's so many connections Oda could make here, and just thinking of the possibility as to what Joy Boy's design could look like, I think Oda could straight cook with this guy, because we have to remember that there's going to be a guy with an eye patch in the future of One Piece at some point. Oda's been talking about this since 2005. In 2005 or 2007, Oda dropped a page in a data book where he said that at the end of the series, we are going to be introduced to a guy with an eye patch. And hey, if Joy Boy is the very first pirate, it would make sense for him to have an eye patch, right? I mean, it would make sense for Joy Boy to have an eye patch more than anyone else out there. But yeah, man, lore piece is in full effect. Now I'm just really curious to see if by chapter 1115, if we'll go into a Void Century flashback. I'm not too sure how Oda's going to tackle this yet. We do know that Vegapunk doesn't have all the information. He says at this chapter, he says, hey, I don't know the full picture. I'm just going to tell you guys what I know. So I feel like there's a chance that we're not going to get the flashback right here. We're just going to get some bullet points from Vegapunk from his perspective, and we're not actually going to see Joy Boy's design or what the world looked like 900 years ago. I feel like it's just going to be like me talking to the camera, right? Like, hey guys, the Void Century, there was this guy named Joy. It's gonna be like that. That's how I'm imagining it. So I don't think we'll get too much insight here until we learn more later on. But yeah, man, there's a lot here. One thing that I don't see too many people talking about online is the implications of this information leaking out to the world. Of course, this is a massive history dump for everybody out there. But I think what's gonna stand out the most to people is the fact that Joy Boy can stretch, right? Because, you hear about a guy named Joy Boy, Sun God Nika, Ancient Kingdom, that's mind-blowing, but you can't exactly relate to it. If I learned about my ancestors from 1,000 years ago, I'd be like, oh, that's cool, but, like, what does that got to do with today? But for this, though, it's a little bit different, because the stretching abilities that Joy Boy had exist in the modern era. Luffy is around. Luffy can stretch. Luffy has a brand new transformation, and it's like, yo, what if Joy Boy, I mean, obviously, painted by Vegapunk will look really good, and then people start associating Joy Boy with Luffy. More people are going to start making this connection, and I feel like this could even serve as a call to arms to the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. This is amazing PR, yeah. Yeah, this is amazing PR for the Straw Hats. All the Forgotten Tribes out there, all the races that know about Joy Boy, King, Doflamingo, Celestial Dragon, dude. Yeah, the minute they start piecing the puzzle together and realize that Luffy is the modern day Joy Boy or modern day inheritor of Sun God Nika's powers, I think it's going to go crazy. Which also, the reason why I bring up Celestial Dragons in that list is because of Doflamingo. Doflamingo is in this chapter. I wonder if he finds it ironic, I wonder if Doflamingo finds it ironic that he, as a Celestial Dragon, lost to Sun God Nika or lost to Joy Boy. I'm not too sure what to use now, but yeah, there's a lot here, man. This seems like a great chapter. It does seem like it's setting up an even bigger one. And to me, at least, it makes sense as to why Oda dropped this revelation here. Because right after this chapter, we're getting another break week, guys. So yeah, we're going to have some time to stew on this one. We're going to have some time to think about Joy Boy being the first pirate on the seas and what that means. And yeah, I would love to hear what you guys have to think about this. Like, what do you think about Joy Boy? What do you think about Sun God Nika? What race do you think he is? And also, what do you think the fallout around the world will be in light of this news, or in light of them connecting the dots that Joy Boy and Luffy are pretty similar? Because I think that's going to be massive. Like, I mean, even the Marines in this chapter are shocked, right? Like, I mean, last chapter, when we learned about the world sinking, they were shocked already. And then we come to this chapter, and it seems like they're still shocked. I mean, Akainu is joining in on it, right? Akainu's still mad, and it's like, yo, I want to see what the Marines are going to do about this. Like, I am looking forward to the day when the Marines forsake the world government, or vice versa, right? I mean, when we learn about the world sinking, I think that also means that the world government is giving up on everyone, Marines included. So yeah, I want to see how many people start rallying behind the Sun God. I want to see what the Giants are up to. And apparently at the start of this chapter, we do see a lot of reactions around the world. So I think, we're in store for something good here. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about these spoilers down below. Full spoilers should be out tomorrow or the next day, so we'll have more to talk about. Just wanted to touch on the Joy Boy stuff primarily. There's a lot of other details that we could have tackled, but I thought this is the biggest one. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you later. Signing out.